if that's what you guys want to do. Totally up to you guys.
Or we can do it one-on-one, or I can do it with her. That's not a problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one-on-one's good too. I was planning about 20 minutes and then an extra 10 minutes for questions afterwards, roughly. That's cool.
Yep.
All right. So you guys just go ahead and let me know when you want to get started, if you want to wait for some more people or.
No, go ahead.
All right. All right, everybody. My name is Colin Thompson. I work with RSP, and it stands for Real Estate Specialist Program. And we are a data company, first and foremost. We do direct mail marketing for real estate agents primarily, targeted farming reports, and just sold postcards. And we've been doing this for over 20 years now. And in the past 3 years alone, we've actually generated $3 billion in listings for agents. So what's really unique about us and what we do is we have MLS and tax roll data that we've merged together on one easy to use platform on our website to show agents prime areas for farming. Also, what this data allows us to do is we're actually able to input that data into your reports for you, which not only establishes you all as the real estate experts within the communities that you're farming, but we're also giving data and information to homeowners that is relevant to them and that they actually look forward to receiving. Another great thing about what we do is we farm exclusively on behalf of one agent in the area that they choose. So we want to give you the best opportunity to achieve success in your area. So that's why we do that. But once you get your area, that area is yours. Okay.
Is it a subdivision or a zip code, or is it a combination?
So we search a zip code, and then we actually update all the neighborhood subdivisions and condos within that zip code. And I'll go into that a little bit more when we jump onto the website, which is what we'll start off with. We'll start off with jumping into the website. And then we're going to go into the targeted farming report program, a real-time lead generation tool that's included with those. And then we'll go into the just listed, just sold postcards and mailing lists. So we basically
a lot of echo going on. So Maria, I'm going to mute myself. Why don't you mute yourself, and let's see if Colin's muted.
Okay.
Perfect. I think that stopped it. So I always encourage agents while I'm presenting to present their own areas or type in their own areas on our homepage. It's rspPRO.com. And when you go onto our website, you'll be prompted to enter a zip code, okay? This would be the zip code that you're interested in farming. So if you have something in mind, you can follow along and do it that way. But we have done your agency's zip code right now, the 33708 area, okay? So when you type in that zip code, we've actually populated all the neighborhood subdivisions and condos within that zip code. Okay, according to tax roll, it's going to be the name on the tax roll. We've given you the number of addresses in each of those areas, as you can see below. We give you the turnover rates from years 1 to 5 to give you guys an accurate depiction of what's really going on in that area over time. This is very important, guys. I can't stress this enough. We recommend agents farming in a turnover rate of 4% or higher. Usually the higher, the better. Okay, so, and we also recommend agents maybe farming their own neighborhoods. Why? Because they have a presence there currently. So that's also a smart decision.
Green is available, red is sold. Is that what that means, or is it backwards?
Pardon me?
Go look at those dots, red and green. What is the significance of red or green?
Yes, so these bubbles on the right, green indicates they're available for farming. Like I mentioned earlier, we farm exclusively on behalf of one agent. So that the red bubbles indicate that someone's currently farming there. And you actually can be added to a wait list if you are interested in farming, and it's as easy as checking these. And then we'll give you a phone call when those are available. Okay, and then when you do click these, add areas, you can see they turn blue over there. So that's just a reference point for you. So you can check on the map and see basically where you're at in the map and make sure that that bubble is the addresses that you want included. And I'll show you a little bit on how to do that as well. But so we give you the average year of turnover for years 1 and 5. And then we give you the average prices of the houses sold below in that area. Okay, this is important. This is where you can actually see in the details section the last 5 years of transactions that have occurred in that neighborhood subdivision or condo. Why is this important? Because this is how you're going to be able to determine different agents' market share in that area. I know you guys are striving to get higher market share in some individual areas, okay? And if you're looking at this area and you can see that an agent currently has 30 to 40% market share in that area, then it might be harder to target an area like that. So, and you can go down a year and see, you know, listing and selling agent, listing and selling prices and all that, and determine that market share 2 years, however far down you want to go. And then here is the list of the addresses for that specific farming area. Okay, some of these bubbles are a little bit close together, as you notice, right? So I highly recommend you just take a look and make sure it's not necessarily the neighboring bubble that you're thinking that addresses were in, okay? Just a little word of caution there. And then you check these areas, add areas. This is also how you sign up for the program. You just add your areas and then you click the next button. But when you click that, you can see I have 777 addresses selected so far. Okay. The reason why this is important is we have a minimum of 300 addresses that we mail for agents every 60 days. And we actually scrub down that number. We scrub that down for bank-owned properties, LLCs, absentee homes, things of that nature, because we don't want to make that decision for you to mail to a non-human entity. You will ultimately get the final decision on where you want to mail these cards. But we find that it saves you guys money in the long run. So we encourage you to try to push for like 320 just to allow for that scrubbing. Okay, guys? And then I like to do a little shortcut if you don't already know the areas that you're interested in farming. You can go into this print tab, and then you can actually sort this by turnover rate. And this is all free on our website. So you can see we have the highest turnover rate areas above, okay? Now these high turnover rate areas, I want to bring this to your attention as well. This is only based off of 9 units. So that's 44.4%. So yes, that looks amazing. And sometimes it is good, but we're basing the sample size off of 9 condos. Whereas when we're looking at something in 107, okay, this is Washington Towers, 11.2%, 8.8% in the past 5 years. That's fantastic. And it is available for farming. So that's kind of how I base some of my decisions when I'm looking at turnover rate and, of course, the market share that I shared earlier. Does anybody have any questions so far on how this works, or any questions? No?
Let me check the chat for you. Okay, nothing there. Q&A. Okay. Maria's watching the chat too. We're good.
All righty, cool. So I'm actually going to go and jump into the targeted farming reports themselves. So I'm going to get out of this, and these are what we are sending the homeowners. These are 8.5 by 11 inch. They're heavy cardstock. They have a matte-like finish to them. And we do all of the work for you guys on this to free up your valuable time. And, you know, these are becoming more valuable than ever because agents are kind of forced to shift their marketing efforts now with everything that's going on with COVID and getting in front of homeowners. It's not necessarily as easy as it used to be. So we're finding a lot more success in this targeted farming reports. So At the top, you have your dynamic neighborhood or area name. You have several different background photos to choose from. We're big on interior photos or lifestyle photos, simply because they're nondescript and you can be farming any number of areas, and they're all going to have a kitchen in them or be representing that Florida lifestyle. Some agents would like to use the neighborhood entrance photo. We tend to try to shy away from that, simply because homeowners have already seen their neighborhood entrance a million times. They already know what it looks like, and we're trying to encourage them to move out, not move in. But you do have the ability to upload your own photos to specs, okay? Your agency branding is automatically included here. We have a cover letter for you that we've designed, and it's updated every 60 days with your mailings for current market and economic conditions, okay? But we highly encourage agents to edit this in their own personal way. Let's say you have a social media or blog presence. This is a perfect place to put that. A lot of agents have buyers right now. Mention that you have buyers, right? That's what someone wants to know when they're listing their house, okay? Any accomplishments, feel free to list them all in here, okay? Headshot and contact information is listed below. And over here, this is really cool. This is what's called a geospecific area map. Each homeowner that receives this, their house is actually in the center of this map, surrounded by these sold properties in and around their neighborhood. But most importantly, down here, we have our home value estimate real-time lead generation tool for you. And I'm going to get more into that in a minute. All right, now this is the inside of the report. These are bifolded, so when you open them, these are in the inside of the report. And these are the featured sales in and around that homeowner's community. And these are comparable listings to that of the homeowner. So when I was talking to you guys about the data that we input into your reports for you to establish you as a real estate expert, I'm really referring to this, okay? So we have the sold dates, we got the neighborhood and address, we've got years built, listing and sold price, the percentage of difference, and the days on market, right? Now, some homeowners actually look at this and they're like, oh my gosh, this is all the agents sold. and that's not necessarily true, but it's a nice byproduct of the reports. If they take it that way, they take it that way, you know? Down here, you have up to 6 active listings or sold properties of yours that you can feature here. And again, we pull all of this from the MLS for you. You don't have to do any of this work on your own, okay? Now we understand.
Question
Yeah.
online, where do you get their headshot? Do they upload their headshot, or where do you get that from?
We're going to pull it from the MLS for you. So if you don't like your MLS headshot, then I would recommend changing that before we get the process started. Okay. Now, we understand that not all agents have 1, 2, 3, 6 active listings or sold properties that they'd like to feature here. So what we encourage agents to do in that scenario is go over to one of your other agents in your agency and ask them, hey, how would you like to feature one of your listings on my report? It may help it sell faster. So it's really a win-win opportunity for the both of you. And but definitely get their permission before you do so. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to go into the fun part, which was that real-time lead generation tool that I was referring to. All right. So the homeowner that receives your report, they are prompted to, on that report, go to myhomeest.com. When they go to myhomeest, they type in their own code that they received from the report. No personal information is required. Keep that in mind. They don't have to type in any personal information because nobody really likes typing in personal information these days. So they are actually going to be greeted by name. Hello, Daniel and Diane in this scenario. This is just a sample. There's a 360-degree Google Street View of their home in the background, which really establishes you as not only a real estate expert, but someone who's technologically savvy, right? This is a really good looking webpage. We have, yep.
If Google doesn't have a street view, like a gated community.
If the Google doesn't have a street view like a gated community, there are instances where that does happen. And sometimes it'll just show a black background instead, and it won't always be the 360-degree Google Street View, okay? We give them the home value estimate of their home, okay? And we give them a range because ultimately we want them to contact you for a CMA, okay? So, and that's based off of computer algorithms that we've pulled. Now here's your headshot and contact information again. All of these buttons for free on-site assessments, planning to sell or buy, local market area alerts, those will prompt an email to be sent to you with that homeowner's personal message and what they want from you, whether it's a CMA or whatever. Okay. And here they can adjust for the condition of their home. Let's say they've done some renovations. Let's say they know it's not in some good shape right now. Should I remodel? And here's more comps. These are in their neighborhoods and around them, and they're comparable to that of the homeowner. And they can kind of compare the different houses and see what values it comes up with. All the MLS stuff is right in here for them to view. But the most important part of this is that they don't have to type any of these anything into any of these buttons for you guys to receive that real-time lead. All they have to do is visit myhomes.com and type in that code. And as soon as they type in that code, we email you, and it's going to look something like this. All right. This is what your email will look like. And you should receive a text message too, and letting you know that you had a real-time lead. All right. So we're always going to have the property address, the homeowner's name, and the value that they saw for their home. And most of the time, we're going to have their phone number and email address to follow up with. Okay. So we have a best practices version of our website. It shows you template options for follow-up emails and all of that in case you don't have any currently. But you can always do a follow-up as well by sending a personal letter to the homeowner. That goes a long way, right? Personal letters, and they've already seen your reports. A lot of agents have had success using that method. Door knocking is another opportunity for these houses. Okay. Door knocking is another successful way to follow up on these leads. And I actually had an agent recently door knock on my house, and I thought, I would consider that agent. And the reason why I would consider that agent is if they're willing to knock on my door, I think they're willing to go above and beyond to find a buyer for my house. So those are just some ideas. And also social media, right? Social media is huge. You can add them on social media as well. Okay. So, and we've had agents in the past that have had like 10 of these real-time leads. And when we've asked them, how did your follow-ups go? They said they didn't know they were supposed to follow up on them. Or I've had agents that have said, well, I followed up on one and I didn't really have luck, and so I didn't follow up on the rest. I strongly encourage you guys to follow up on your leads. If you don't, you're really not taking advantage of the program and you're leaving money on the table. It is so important to follow up on your leads in whatever way, shape, or that is possible. Okay. However you see fit. All right. So now I'll go ahead and jump into our postcards. Okay. All right. All right, so when you sign up for our postcard program, we're going to actually email you anytime you get a listing or sold property, and it's going to be a default postcard template that you'll receive. And then from that email, you can actually alter your postcard, or you can just tell us to send it out. And I'll kind of show you what it looks like. This would be your profile here, just listed, just sold postcard. All of your listings and solds will be on your profile here. So let's just go to this one. View postcard for this listing. All right, and you can edit the card. This is a pretty cool template that we have. This is called the welcome mat template, and it actually includes the homeowner's name that's going to be receiving this postcard on the welcome mat. So it's a good attention grabber for the homeowner. You can press any of these pictures here, and all of your MLS photos are going to be here that you can, alter your photos around. You have different template options, of course, that you can scroll through and take a look at whichever ones you like the most. You can include different banners options. You can change what you want to appear here. And we can go to the back of the report. Here's where we upload that property description for you from the MLS. We spell check and grammar check that for you. But you can also include your own message here, agency branding, headshot, and contact information, the map again, and the real-time lead generation tools also included with our postcards. All right, so now we can go into our mailing list and costs. And this is just a really unique feature of what we do, because we know it's hard to pull together a mailing list on your own and do all this work for yourself. So we're automatically actually going to choose the area that your listing is in, okay? And that could be a mailing list of yours, because ideally you'd probably want to market to those people. But if you want to market to other areas around that, you can press select areas not listed over there on the left, and then you can type in a zip code. Like I'm just going to type in my own personal zip code, 34241, focus. And then it's very similar to the targeted farming report zip code thing earlier. All the neighborhood subdivisions and condos are listed here, and all of that information. You press record, and that also shows up down below over here on the right hand side. Now, here is where you can actually edit that list. And you can really determine, based on your preferences, whether these addresses are ready to move. And you can see that you have the opportunity to mail up to 50 homeowners, or how many ever you choose, that have owned their house for more than 5 years. You can click apply RTM, and I've already applied that, and that's why these are 50 checked boxes of homeowners that have owned their houses more than 5 years. You can see you got the terms of ownership, property address, owner name, and mailing address. Mailing address is important here. As you can see, John Lind doesn't necessarily live at the property address. So we're actually going to send it to his mailing address to make sure he receives, the actual homeowner receives the report in Pennsylvania. Okay. All right, so now that I went through those, we will go ahead and jump back to the PowerPoint, and we can discuss pricing. All right, so for the targeted farming report program, each report that we send out every 60 days is 97 cents a piece. And we have a minimum of 300 reports that we send out for you every 60 days. We have a $39 monthly program fee. That includes your own personal marketing assistant. That includes us pulling all of that data for you and putting it into your reports. And most importantly, that includes maintaining your exclusivity in your farming area. For the just listed, just sold postcards, they do not have a monthly fee. They are 83 cents each, and they're only 78 cents if you're farming with us currently. So you get a 5-cent discount on those. So we do have a promotion going on through the end of March for 2 monthly fees waived if you are to sign up in the Targeted Farming Report program. Now, you would pay for the first month of the Targeted Farming Report program, but your second and third monthly fees would be waived. Roughly $80 savings. All right, so here's some statistics that prove that farming works, okay? Our average agent in their second year of farming with us receives 4 additional transactions per year. And that results in a 504% return on their investment. Now, the reason why you notice I said second year of farming, farming does take consistency. It does take time, but over time, your results are compounded. So we strongly encourage agents to stick it out through that second year and that third year to really get that compounding of success. Now, a lot of agents, they receive, our sweet spot is really in between that fourth and that sixth mailing. So a lot of agents receive their first transaction in that sweet spot. We've had agents that have received their first transaction ever in their first mailing ever. Does that happen all the time? No, it doesn't. And there is a numbers game to this, right? Our average agent mails out 525 reports, okay? Here's some more stats. Why geographic farming? 50% of homeowners will work with the agent who contacted them most recently when looking to list or sell their home. You have a 67% chance of getting the listing within a group of homeowners consistently contacted with data. And the two most important ones to pay attention to here, 70% of home sellers contact only one agent before finding the right agent to sell their home. And get this, it jumps to 80% for sellers 36 years and younger. So we're really seeking to establish you as that agent. All right. 41% of Americans of all ages look forward to checking their mail each day. 42% of direct mail recipients either read or scan the mail they get. Now compare that to email. Do you think that number is a little bit less for email? I would bet on it. 90% of direct mail gets opened. 15 to 25% of emails get opened. 57% of email addresses are abandoned because the user receives too many marketing emails. And then when asked which is more effective at getting you to take action, 30% of millennials said direct mail, while 24% said email, and that's millennials. 73% of American consumers say that they prefer being contacted by brands via direct mail. Why is that? Because they can look at it whenever they want. They can put it up on their fridge, they can put it in a drawer, and they can come back to it later. Okay, so I will go ahead and open this up for questions. Thank you all so much for your time today. And here's my contact information. Okay. Are there a minimum number of months that you must sign up for? Heather, yes, there is a minimum number of months. We have a 6 mailing commitment, which equals a year. Reason why is because we want you to be successful in the program. And like I mentioned earlier, it takes consistency. We don't want someone to sign up and only plan on mailing once or twice and then be like, oh, RSP, it doesn't work, right? So it helps our reputation and it helps us set you up for success, okay? So, and then definitely encourage to stick it out through that second year.
Yeah, that's the one thing about farming that's definitely true. Long term, this is not a short term endeavor. But for most agents, we teach them, Colin, to rely on not just themselves, but play the partnership with the Century 21 Beggins office. And we've been around for 28 years. So their residents know our brand. So all they're going to rely, they're going to rest on our brand and introduce themselves. Which
right.
is pretty good credibility.
That's great. Yeah, definitely.
Do we have any chats? Maria said you were watching that. I had to get some tea. I'm freezing. Makes sense. Thanks. Yes.
All right, Martin, I got your phone number here. Maria, do you want to call Martin after this, or do you want me to call him after my next meeting? Up to you.
I can do that because I know you have a meeting right after this. So when we hang up.
Okay.
Cheryl has to see the slides and has the cost on it again.
Yep. And I can go over that cost again as well.
Cheryl and Dawn are both asking. Yeah.
I know it can be a little bit confusing. So each report is 97 cents each. Remember, we have a minimum of 300 reports, so we mail out every 60 days. Okay. And then $39 is going to be billed each month, monthly fee. Okay. And then, so that equates to about $2,200 to $2,300 a year, if you're trying to do the math for the minimum.
Claire asked if the neighborhood that's your first choice, can you be put on the waiting list for more than one neighborhood?
Yes, you can add yourself to unlimited neighborhoods, and that actually is a great question too. And it leads me to another question that I get asked a lot is, with the $39 a month, can I farm more than one area? Yes, you can farm more than one area with that $39 a month. So don't think you have to like pay $39 for each area.
So I thought it was interesting when we were looking at the areas you wanted to farm, you showed us the market share so we could actually look. Can we see if the agent that's farming that neighborhood under you to see if they're getting that business?
You could speculate, but we can't release it for privacy issues of like in that. But you could, if you have some agents, right? It's their own neighborhood that they want to farm, and they're getting the reports. So
right.
Then you could figure that out.
New message below. What if you're a team with a headshot?
Yes, we can do team photos. We can do up to what I think 4 or 5 photos, but what we find is the best for teams is to have your own team photo. One photo, it just makes the reports look a lot better. It doesn't really confuse the homeowners and like which person do I call, like all of that.
Colin, can you repeat the promo for them?
Yes, and then you have 2 months free. It ends March 31st. It's the monthly fees of the $39 that are get waived, and it's going to be your second and third monthly fees that are waived. So we're talking about $80 as long as you before March 31st.
When do you pay? The entire year up front or every other month? You pay every month?
No, you're billed the initial $39 upon sign up, and then you're billed for your reports when they get sent out every 60 days. But we can, if the agent wants to, we can bill them for the entire year up front, but it doesn't have any advantage to us. So it isn't a discount. Yeah.
Clear up Q&A.
So if we sign up during your promotion for the first year, you only pay for 4 months versus 6. Martin, that's correct.
No, he's talking.
Or 4 months. I'm sorry. Yeah,
I answered him.
Okay, good. Yeah. The 6 mailings is the amount of mailings that are going out. We have 6 mailings. So, you would be paying 10 months. Yeah.
And no, we don't charge you for listings. We're charging you for the service for the farming, and we hope you get dozens and dozens of listings. We do not take a piece of your listing in this program. So I'm just answering him also. I hope, is that clear? I'm hoping. I think I got it. We hope you get more listings than you can even handle, and you have to share them with somebody. Okay, I think I got that one.
Are you answering these? Yes. Okay, got it. I see Maria's answering these. Okay. All righty. Well, I will leave this to you guys. I got to jump on another meeting. If you guys have any questions, you can ask Maria. Thank you guys so much for having me, and appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
Well, guys, stay up. Little issues to talk to you about real quick. Chris, Colin, you need to unshare your screen, please.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Craig, do you want me to sign off?
You're welcome if you want to.
Well, I don't want, if it's just, an internal meeting, I'm fine, because I
No,
can,
I've got about 3 things I want to talk about real quick, just some issues that were popping up.
okay.
We'll just sign off with you guys and say thank you for a nice lesson today.
Thank you for
Thank
the
you.
time.
And I'm co-host. That's not going to affect anything, right? If I sign off.
Maria, before you sign off, check the Q&A. There's Helen Williams wants you to call her.
Yes, I've got, oh, is there another one? Hang on. Yeah, Helen, let me grab your number, Helen. I'll call you as soon as we hang up. I'm just writing it down because I think this is going to disappear when I sign off.
Correct.
That one, yes. I'll just say yes before I leave.
Putting my contact information in here as well.
Put it in the chat because it'll stay on for a while.
There, I can see it now. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to leave you guys to your meeting, and I'll follow up with the 3 people that I promised, and then you guys can move on to your meeting and call us anytime or email.
Colin, put that in all panelists and attendees. You're just sending it to us right now.
Oops.
You have
Oh,
to-
that's the difference. Got it. Now I understand the difference.
And Maria Martin said put it on after 10:30.
After 10:30, sure. No problem.
Okay, thanks, Maria.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Stay warm.
We're such wimps. Okay, just a couple things I want to talk about. I got 2 agents sent me notes yesterday announcing that Lennar, as effective yesterday, they're only paying a 1% commission on your first sale. It goes to the 3% after your second sale. That's a sign of the times, guys. That's the real estate market saying real estate agents aren't relevant. And real estate agents have a very strong memory of when things like this happen, when the market comes back. So karma's a bitch. So just know now your first sale with Lennar during the year is a 1% commission. You got to sell 2 to get to 3. Tomorrow, we've got Andy Wood and Candace Blackburn going to give us some tax tips because we're going to tax filing time. So I think that's pretty relevant for all of us as we're getting our 1099s and stuff in the mail. So tune in tomorrow for tax time. And I want to share with you something that's just total BS. And I want you to be aware that bullshit baffles brains. How do I just do this? Let's see. So there's a guy with Mav Realty who's a team leader who made an offer on a house of ours, a listing of ours. And I presume he was arrogant and assumed his offer was going to win. And he told the consumer that they won. In between the conversation between our agent and this agent, which was not you win the offer, it's if you come to these terms, you'll likely get it. Well, he went back and time passed and he came back with those terms. But in between the conversation and the time he came back with the terms, which was hours later, guess what happened? Another offer came in that was better than the terms we led him to believe would be acceptable. Right? Now, this all stems around verbal offers, right? And it's really important. It's really easy to get caught up in, you know, I trust the agent I'm working with. We got a good rapport. They said I'm going to get it. That's all fine and good until it's not. When another offer comes in after your rapport building session went so well, and the seller doesn't give a shit about your rapport with the other agent, they want the more money in their pocket and they take the deal. So that's it. So this thing got really heated And this guy said some scathing. Here's some of the correspondence. Let's see. Agent, good afternoon. I'm the transaction coordinator. Attaches the offer. This is at 4:52. Let's execute tonight. Our agent says, is the offer your client's highest and best? We received another offer this evening. Please advise. You said they are accepting and countering date. That is why I sent it back in writing, and you replied you couldn't. Stick to your word and sellers via email. Okay, so here's where the problem is. You said, here's the offer, which came hours after our conversation. Our agent politely replies back, hey, is this your highest and best? Because we've received another offer. Please advise. Then it gets a little nasty. Hey, you said they're accepting. You saying they're accepting has no merit on anything. And our agent says, I have to follow what the sellers are asking me to do. As you know, they asked me to ask for a different closing date. And if in between we received another offer, as you know, it's my duty to present it to the seller. It's not uncommon for this to happen in this market conditions. And then he says, you don't have to follow what sellers are asking you to do. You have to do your job. Be ethical and hold true to the code of ethics. I'm easy to work with, have great inspectors and a great lender, but I also have great connections as far as legal counsel. This is an exact measurement of ethics. We have it in writing from you. We are good to go with that one change. Guys, bullshit baffles brains. We have it in writing from you. The agent has no bearing on a real estate purchase and sale contract, period. The seller signs the contract. The buyer signs the contract. The agent's words mean nothing. We have it in writing from you that we are good to go with that one change, which we did. I also canceled my showings tonight, so you interfered with this chance on another property that I'll come back to you, that will come back to you as the professional license holder. This guy is a team leader for a decent sized team that does a lot of business who doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. And I wrote back, a little sassy. And then our agent wrote back a nice response. And his final response was, wrong decision. We'll be filing an ethics complaint against you, but thank you for the lawful facts. I didn't know you were a lawyer also. So that's what's going on out there when these things come back. And then I was very impressed because, go back to my screen here. The broker of the company sent an apology email to our agent and confirmed that there would be no ethics complaint filed and that their agent was out of line. Oh my goodness, I went in last week and the buyer's gonna paint me down on a lot. Well, guys, you went last week. That's baloney. I heard it was effective yesterday, so that might be it. Anyway, I just want to share that little tidbit with you because there's a lot of people out there that act like they know what they're doing and they just don't. So be careful one thing, don't relay to your consumer that their offer is accepted until it's been signed by the seller. So what happened is this guy conveyed that they got it and now they're pissed off at him because he didn't get it. And that's his fault. And he misplaced his anger on our agent, which is just normal, right? So that being said, it is 9:24. Yeah, that makes you second guess yourself. So please call us when things like this happen. Yeah, exactly. And that was threatening. This guy was aggressively going after our agent with bullshit. He was totally wrong. And I really do. I was honored the broker took the position they did and apologized. It was a big deal. So anyway, 9:24, guys. Have a happy Thursday. Let's get some tax education tomorrow. And we'll see you at 8:30. And I'll be around. Well, I got appointments all morning, but I'll be around all afternoon.